how come did number 3 Texas women's basketball lose to number 6 number 5 UConn women's basketball? First off, as a disclaimer, I knew Texas was not a top 5 team. I was not that high on Texas. If you watch my top 10 for Division 1 women's basketball, you would know I was never sold on them as a top 5 team to begin with, if you have been watching. So what exactly happened in the game? First of all, Texas made 29 field goals out of 56, 51.8%. 8 from 18 from the three-point line. 10 for 20 on free throws. They only had 12 rebounds in the game, 12 assists, 6 steals, 4 blocks, 18 turnovers, and 20 fouls. While UConn had made like 33 shots out of 60, 8 for 15 from 3, 9 for 18 on free throws, 34 rebounds in the game, 19 assists, 8 steals, 1 block, 16 turnovers, and 20 fouls. So you could tell the foul count was about even. The turnovers favored to UConn with less. And of course, not enough blocks for UConn compared to Texas. The steals advantage UConn. The assist advantage UConn. The rebounds favored UConn. Free throws was a wash. Three-pointers favored UConn. Overall shooting favored UConn. So, that makes a lot of sense. But I will say this. That UConn still needs to prove it to me a little bit more. Because let's face it, they don't have a lot of depth. And I don't expect them to go undefeated by any means. Because let's look at their schedule coming up. They got NC State next. Next game. And that's tough. And I know I went over their schedule with the Bill Knight Legacy thing. So, I really still do expect that UConn women will lose a game or two in non-conference. Besides, sure there's some SEC game. Some games and non-conference games in February and all, but you know what I'm saying, though. It's just one of those deals that both teams in this game against each other showed a weakness. Yes, it's early on in the year, and it's their second game overall for both teams. But come on now. You can't defend a three-point line. You can't make free throws. That's a problem for both teams going forward. It is a problem. And granted, they're going to, after they play Duke next week, they'll either play Iowa or Oregon State. I expect Iowa to beat Oregon State. So, that's a possible loss. And of course, they got Notre Dame on their schedule, as well as Maryland, which I don't know what to expect from Maryland, honestly. Of course, there's some ranked teams in the Big East now, like Creighton. I'm going to double check on that. But, Villanova's ranked. I'm going to have to go back to the poll. On this, so yeah, it does make sense why Texas women's basketball did lose. And I already knew they were overhyped to begin the season. Already knew. With no shadow of a doubt. They got Creighton that's ranked. Villanova's ranked. That's 2 teams. Of course, it doesn't include DePaul. And that's the truth. And then, they, of course, later on down the line, like I said, they will have some non-con games against. They got Tennessee, which I don't know how good Tennessee's going to be after their player, one of the better players, got hurt. South Carolina, that's going to be a challenge, like I said. So that's two non-conference games in either that's February on that one, and for South Carolina and Tennessee. So I still expect UConn to lose to somebody in the non-conference schedule, maybe even in the conference slate too, a game or two. So we're gonna just wait and see. As for Texas women's basketball, they're gonna have to drop out of top five, in my opinion. There is no way you could keep them in the top three. UConn needs to go up. But if they lose to NC State, they might not deserve to be in the top four, which I already knew. But the thing is, to me, UConn should never have started number 5 either. So both these teams are a little bit overrated. Because look, UConn has injuries, 2 season-ending ones, to 2 really good players. So that's my deal. And the fortunate thing is, Texas won't have to play a ranked game next time out. I mean, they will only have. Oh, but they got Marquette though this Saturday, so Marquette's undefeated. They better watch out for this Saturday. I mean, and in Princeton as well, the following game, because look, Princeton used to be ranked. They're not anymore, I know. But that's just talking about the next 2 games. Right there, which. You know. That's pretty tough. I mean. I still do expect Texas women's basketball to lose some games in a non-conference slate. I mean, that's the truth. They could very well lose to Marquette. I mean, it's not going to be an easy game by any means. Yeah, and that's like for the Battle for Atlantis, which I don't know who they will play after that, but you know what I'm saying though. It's not going to be an easy first game against Marquette. I want to check on the Battle for Atlantis for the women's side, because I know that's kind of one of those tournaments coming up. And I don't know the bracket to be fair, but I'm going to go look real fast. Okay. They will either play Louisville or Gonzaga. That's a good team either way. But granted, I would assume it would be Louisville. That is if Texas wins. But either way, you have a tough challenge ahead of you. Good team ahead of you. Gonzaga may not be ranked per se, but you can't deny that they are a good. They were a good team last year, and they have been making an NCAA tournament for a while now. They're not as good as the guys, of course, but I'm just stating a fact. I mean, and then they got on the other side of the bracket includes like South Dakota State, that's ranked. UCLA, I mean, I believe they are ranked. Granted, I know Rutgers isn't that great of a women's basketball team. Tennessee's on the other side of the bracket, and I don't know how good Tennessee's going to really be because they're dropping like flies now. They lost back-to-back games now. So, that's just naming 4 of the teams, and I'm pretty sure if I go back on the schedule here, I want to go back to the rankings just to see where if UCLA women are even ranked or not. I know South Dakota State is. I know they are. And I know Tennessee is, obviously. So I apologize for this delay, but I want to be accurate on this. Oh, South Dakota State's like receiving 15. They're receiving 15 votes, so it's not like a guarantee win. Or and Gonzaga's receiving 5 votes. So yeah, that's two teams that are really up there on the receiving votes. Tennessee's number 11, of course, and Louisville's number 6. UCLA is receiving votes too with 31. They're just right on the outside looking in. So, anyways, I just want to break that down. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. That's going to be the 400 subscribers and more by the end of this year or sometime in the future.